It's almost like a live crowd.
It is.
We're
It
gonna get
just
heckled.
cracks me up. It was a little bit of heckling going on the other way.
Let him heckle.
Welcome. My goodness. I'm just going to vibe with the music a little bit. We're back, guys. We're back.
We are
Sam
back.
is here. Christian is here. Super
it.
secret podcast guest. Marvin is here.
How's everybody doing?
There
Good,
it is.
man.
All the energy in the world.
Oh, I know.
This
So much
guy
energy.
has so much energy. So much energy.
I love the jersey, man. It's like soccer and Orioles
what is
meet.
it?
Oh, so this is a Salvadorian soccer team.
Nice.
So it's
Okay.
from San Miguel, where my family's from.
Okay,
So these guys are top dogs out there in that league.
that's awesome. And where did you say your family was from?
San Miguel, Salvador.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Authentic. Times
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Were you born there?
No, I was
Oh, okay.
born here. I was born in like Prince George County.
Okay. So
Oh,
yeah,
no way. What part?
Were
Was it
you-
Tacoma
were
Park
you
area?
born
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's around that area.
You never know, Mike.
Yeah. Before we run down the road, I want to give a big shout out to Ryan and Jordan Curley for their Toss for a Cause event. It was this past weekend. Really, obviously, something they're super passionate about, raising money for lung cancer. Jordan's dad passed away a couple years ago, shortly after being diagnosed. Super healthy guy, worked outside, worked with his hands, always vibrant, full of energy, and then unfortunately passed away. And they ran this for the third year in a row, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And they've been raising a good amount of money. So we had a great time there. Probably about 100, maybe 120 people showed up. It was a big showing, a big outpour, and I know it means a lot to them. So thank you guys for inviting us, and we want to look forward to doing that again.
You guys played a lot of cornhole there.
We did.
How long did you last?
Well, we got 3 games in.
So
Not long.
you made it the farthest you could have made it.
It was the people. Let's just say it this way: if you sign up for a nonprofit cornhole tournament, make sure that you're prepared to not compete, because the people that did sign up were electric.
Yeah, man. It's in their blood.
It's in their blood. That Southern Maryland blood.
Yeah, seriously. You get
cool, though.
smoked.
So wait, so just because I'm curious now, so raising money, and then there was a cornhole tournament.
Yeah, so that's
During
the
the-
predication, right?
Okay.
Like
Toss
it's
for
a
a
tournament.
cause is
It's
what
a
the event's
tournament
called.
that they, charge everyone to
Yep.
participate, and then all the money. There's no, I don't know actually. I've never gotten far enough to know if there's a tournament, if there's a championship, but the money goes towards the cause, and then they
Great.
do, raffles, 50-50.
Yep.
We donated a basket. We did an Oreo basket, ironically, hence Christian's comment earlier, and.
John also won 3 of them. How, were people booing him at some point? Like, get this fucking loser out of here.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, we sent Amanda up every time.
Oh, no.
To get them?
Yeah, so she's like 1, 2.
Oh, I would boo her then.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. But also, in future adventures, I want to participate more, because I think one of the challenges of running a fundraiser is that you tend to know the people that are coming. Right. And so if you don't have people that are disassociated that can run and operate it, it kind of limits the growth. And I saw that a little bit this weekend. I think that we, as a partner, can stand up and support them a little bit. I think we can put our emphasis on raising those like 50-50 raffle drawings.
Yeah.
The gift baskets. There were 15 beautiful gift baskets. I mean, probably well over, I don't know, $3,000 or $4,000 worth of contributions from everyone around the area. And in the 50-50 raffle, we only raised $475. It's like, guys, we could do better, right?
Right, yeah.
But I think it's the challenge of like, when you know the people that are coming, you go like, hey, Sam, do you want to give? And no, how's your mom? How's this? How's that? And then you don't actually get around to selling the
Right.
tickets.
But that's cool.
But it was really cool. And I think they said after expenses were paid, they raised like $11,800, which
Wow.
is fantastic, because they took on a lot of expenses this year. It's growing. You got to
Sure.
get it at a bigger venue, bigger, So it was a really, really cool event. And
I heard Jordan and Ryan got to play in it.
they did get to play in it, and they got eliminated. And they were not even as good as we were.
I don't know about that. I feel like you're hyping
Mike,
up your
who's
team.
your partner?
John.
Okay.
Are you big into cornhole?
I'm not great at it.
Okay.
Dude,
I play at barbecues.
I feel
That's
like
Like a round or two, and then I'm just like,
that's it.
I feel like this is
Yeah, I'm not-
equivalent
I'm
to
not-
how I look at golf, okay? I look at golf in a way, if somebody says, do you want to go golfing? I go, no. Nope, not with you, right? Do you want to go play golf? Yeah, let's go, bet, right? But cornhole, if somebody's like, oh, are you down for corn? I'm like, I Nope, thanks. Hey, you guys gonna go play drinking games over there? We'll do a shot every time we miss. Okay, sure, let's go.
Right.
And there were 2 people that were at the event, right? Like the people that were ringers. I mean, it was unbelievable how many teams were like 21-2.
Yeah, but I feel like they're so
Wow.
casual about their skills.
They are. They try to downplay. I'm
They
not,
try to
man.
downplay it, for
I've
sure.
never even played this game before.
Let me get a couple more beers in me. I'm never gonna miss.
Literally.
Yeah.
So we played against this father-son duo, and
Oh man, I would have loved to be there for that.
dude, the first like 8 bags that they threw were like in the hole, on the board, in the hole, and then they were like, okay, cool, we're warmed up.
At what point did you know you weren't making it far?
As soon as they walked up,
Right, you could tell.
Did they have jerseys? Anybody?
Yes!
Did anybody? Okay.
yes, the father-son duo had. So I'm playing with the son on my side, and John is on the other side with the father, and we're playing and it's friendly. I go, dude, go ahead. You're going to beat us anyway, so no big deal. And he goes, okay. And he throws, his first one goes right in the hole. And I was like, bro, that's not nice. And this kid's like, maybe he's 13. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I was like,
He was not sorry.
Oh, forget.
no,
was
but
out.
he
He
was
was out
like,
for blood.
it was one of those
Yes.
moments where like he's been trained, So as soon as I was like, that's not nice, he's like, I'm really sorry about that. I'm really, really sorry. He's like, 5 points.
This wasn't the same day as the trolley tour, was it?
It was the same day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It was a long day.
Did you go to both?
I made an attendance at
Okay.
both, yeah.
Good.
So
Fantastic.
Christian opened up the trolley tour. They had a 8 a.m.
You were supposed to. I don't know what
No,
happened
no,
to that.
no, no. I'm
That
not
was literally
setting
the
up.
plan the whole time. He's like, yeah, I'll be there to set up. And he's like, Christian, if you're 15, 20 minutes late, don't worry about it. And then I pull up, unfortunately, 30 minutes late. But Michaela, everybody's just standing there looking at me come down the
Like-
hallway.
Yeah, doing the work.
What? So before just out of curiosity, what is the trolley tour?
Basically helping people learn about the opportunity to buy homes in Baltimore City, like grants, down payment assistance, what the home buying process looks like, and just being able to connect with professionals in the industry.
Are you on a trolley? Like, where,
Bus.
okay.
We're
is-
not San Francisco.
There is a part of that.
Yeah.
The other thing is it's not only for Baltimore, right? Like if you're listening and you're from San Francisco, you want to come, right? It's a great event. There's honestly
I met someone last year that traveled here from like Argentina or something like that.
Wow,
And
okay.
her dad was like a builder out there.
Damn.
And so they were looking to try and like get some properties up here in Baltimore and start doing some business there. But I think they're a little further out than when we had connected.
Right.
But yeah.
But honestly, like
cool, though.
I think there's probably in the realm of 50 different vendors there to talk about lending and moving and community impact and
you own a
growth
house?
and all kinds of
Do you own a
development.
house?
I own 2 houses.
Oh, no way.
Nice.
Where at?
YOLO.
So one's over in Reisterstown, and then the other one's over in Pikesville.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I
one's a rental, and then the other one's my personal home.
I was gonna ask about that.
Okay.
Cool.
At what age did you buy your first like primary home?
First primary home, I got that maybe like 4 years ago.
Nice. Oh,
So-
and you got a second property that quick?
Yes, I'm very lucky.
That's
very,
awesome.
Very lucky. I mean, it's a lot of hard work and stuff like
Oh,
that.
for sure.
And I'm lucky. I'm a veteran as well, so I went through the VA program as
way.
well.
Oh, wow.
To get that, so that really helped the funding.
I had no. What
We need
branch?
to learn about you.
So I mean, I was in the Army
Okay.
from like 2012, 2016. I
Okay.
was an infantryman, so
Oh, wow.
I was stationed up in like Fort Jerome, New York.
Yeah.
Light
Okay.
infantry, so just a lot of walking everywhere.
Yeah.
Deployed to Afghanistan for 9 months out there, so
I'd like to
been
point
there,
out
done that type of thing.
I'd
Yeah.
like to point out that Mr. I'm a little shy is like a very boisterous and chatty once you get to it.
Oh, once
I
I get
love
to
that
it,
about
once
it.
I get to it,
We need to
yeah,
learn.
I, can
I
be very
love that
boisterous
about
and
you.
chatty.
Right.
I like listening to people. I like hearing their stories first and stuff
Yeah.
like that because I want to learn more about other
Yeah.
people first, and then like if people start
But
asking
we
stuff,
want
then
to hear about yours, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So
We'll get there.
especially towards your future endeavors, but let's start with your family had a business, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And what was that called?
So that's called El Paraiso. That's up in Reisterstown.
Oh,
So
Okay.
we've had that for 20 years. We're running on 21. So like 2004. I've been working there since I was like 10 years old.
And
So
what kind of business is that? The food?
So
Food?
yeah, so that was like specifically like El Salvadorian and like Central American style food.
Okay.
So there used to be like another restaurant that used to be there called Fiesta Grill. That was owned by a Guatemalan family, I believe. And they did more like, basic Central American Tex-Mex style food and stuff like that. But we didn't see like a lot of representation about a lot of like home style foods that we would get like from either like El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala.
Yeah.
Talking about like our soups and steaks. Talking about like, our appetizers, like just like our street food and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So, and we've been seeing like a huge growing population over there in Reisterstown for like the Hispanic community.
Wow.
So my dad was just like, why don't we provide the food for our people?
Yeah.
Great.
So, we became like one of the first restaurants out there to like actually give like authentic style, like Central American food. And like, we absolutely love serving it to our people. And our people are just like, you have a lot of hardworking immigrants coming out here. People, breaking their backs doing roofing or doing like, garden work or like, cleaning services. And some of these people leave their whole families behind because they want to provide for their families and send money back. They don't usually have a lot of time to, cook for themselves, or some of the guys and some of the women and stuff like that. Like, they don't have a lot of experience cooking.
Yeah.
But they can come somewhere and be like, this reminds me of home.
Yeah.
And that's what we
That's
wanted to provide
awesome.
for people.
That's a
so
vibe.
it's like, we wanted to be, that cultural hub for people. And, once Americans start coming in, and then like we're that like foot in the door, we're like, hey, this is a part of like, our community and what we can serve and like what we can give you guys.
Yeah.
That's a vibe.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love that that's starting to happen more now, right? When I was younger, I feel like there was, the tienda. I know where that is. I know where it is in Reisterstown, like where I grew up. If we wanted to get something cool or different, we went there. But there was never like a true authentic cuisine restaurant. It was always Tex-Mex or some other sort of restaurant. And now I feel like that cultural experience is really coming to life. And it's not just Reisterstown. It's literally all over.
One of the big things too, like when we first opened up, it's that we branded ourselves as Tex-Mex. Why? Because, back then a lot of people, they weren't very like diverse with their foods, or they like, started being introduced to new foods. But you tell somebody like, Salvadorian food, they're just like, well, what is Salvadorian food?
Right.
But like, you drive by somewhere and you see the sign that says Tex-Mex. All right, cool. They have fajitas, they have burritos, they have tacos and stuff like that. And we have all that. But then you see on the menu, you're like, oh, okay, now there's like actual, like different foods that we're not really familiar with. Let's ask our waiter about it.
Still have those things?
Oh, we absolutely still have
Oh,
those
that's
things.
super cool.
Yeah.
What are some of the main like Salvadorian dishes?
So the main
let's say?
Salvadorian dishes is like our appetizers is yuca con chicharron. So yuca is cassava. So it's just fried cassava, and then we do seasoned pork chunks with that, and we put like a pickled slaw, and we can do like a hot sauce on the side with that.
Ooh.
So that's like a great street food. That's
Okay.
like hanging out with
Damn,
friends,
look at that.
drinking during the day.
Okay.
Our pupusas is what we're most known for in El Salvador.
Papusa?
So
I'm a little bit confused as to why we don't have any pupusas here right now, to be
That's
honest
true.
with you.
Brandon didn't tell me so.
What
we'll
the
have
fuck?
to tell Brandon.
I was gonna bring Brandon up because every time I feel like
Quesadilla?
I run into him, the word papusa comes out of his mouth.
does
Or he's
say it a
always
lot.
doing something
I'm
with
so
papusas.
proud of
I'm like,
Brandon because Brandon has been so like involved with helping me out with
Yeah.
Aru Aru, and he's been learning to make pupusas. And I'm just like, one of the biggest things for me is like not just like
YOLO.
feeding people pupusas and stuff like that and food from my places. It's like also teaching people how to make
Yeah.
these types of food. And Brandon's just been working and practicing, and just like he's just been getting better and better at it.
How did
And
you
I'm just
meet
like,
him?
Brandon, so I met him through school friends.
Okay.
So Brandon went to Owings Mills High School, and I went to Franklin High School.
Okay.
And then he was like friends with some friends that I had from Franklin that talked to people from Owings Mills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we connected maybe like I'd say about like 6-7 years.
Okay,
ago.
okay.
And we just been
Yeah, he would always put
pounding
the.
around and just going around everywhere.
great.
I was
Yeah.
just at the Orioles game with him yesterday.
Oh, really?
Oh, he was first in line for he wanted to get that Gunnar Henderson
Yeah,
lightsaber bobblehead.
He was
Ready for it.
He posted something on Instagram the other day, and the Orioles mascot had a lightsaber and like a cape in his hand,
Yep.
and he was like dueling some people on the field or
Mhm.
something.
Yep.
Just hilarious. But he would always post stuff about the Fells Point Farmers Market, and I think he's gone down there a couple times to help you out. And you had mentioned that's where you guys set up shop at those farmers markets. What is that like? What is it like being a part of that Fells Point?
Honestly, it feels great. I was a little, I'd say, nervous starting off because like Fells Point Farmers Market's been going on for like more than like 15 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's like a staple out there for the community to come out there on Saturdays, and it's all small businesses out there. People are like introducing their own flavors, their own twisted things. People people want to be entrepreneurs, and people want to like express themselves and like be a part of their like own like journey of like business.
For sure.
And I'm just like cool, like being around all this kind of stuff. I'm like, how am I going to fit into all this? How are people going to receive my food? How are
Right.
people going to react to this? And,
Yeah.
been like R&Ding in the kitchen every day. I'm like, I need to make sure everything tastes great. Like to the point where I'm just like sick of like eating the same thing because I'm like, because I'm making it every other day, and I'm just like tasting it. I'm just like, all right, like somebody else needs to taste this. Like my palate is just done.
Yeah.
I'm just burnt out from it. But I'm like, I know it tastes good, but like I know there can always be something like just a little better every time. And like always getting that. But like, you know, just being out there and being received so well from all the other vendors, and everybody's being so helpful. Like our first day there, great sales, but a little bit like chaotic in terms of like our like whole setup and stuff like that, because we were trying to figure out like, all right, what's the best way to work around in like one of these markets, because we haven't really done markets like that. And like our tent almost flew away from the wind, and then that broke, and then one of our buddies came by to like check on us, and we're just like tent with like no tarp on it, because we're just like, let's just take this off before this thing blows off again. And we're just like, oh man, what do we do? We're just like, all right, cool, it happened. Let's just take a breath.
Are you cooking at the farmer's market?
I'm cooking at the farmer's market.
Fresh?
Fresh. So you're
Holy
getting your
shit.
pupusas. I'm making them. I'm stuffing them there on spot. And you're just watching
Now,
them be cooked.
pupusa, are they cooked on a flat top? Or are they cooked on a grill? Or are they cooked
on flat top?
Flat top.
Yeah, flat top.
So you have a propane flat top.
So I have 2 propane flat tops. One's just for like our like vegetarian and like our like meat option. And then the other one's for like the seafood option, and also where we have like our hot hold for like the birria and like our sauce.
So what is a pupusa exactly?
So a pupusa is a corn masa. So it's like, you know, like your corn tortillas. Corn tortillas like Mexican style are more of like on thinner style. But Salvadorians, we eat our tortillas a lot thicker.
Okay.
But what we do is like we turn it into a bowl, and then we stuff it with like various types of like fillings. So traditionally you would get like cheese or pork or like bean paste inside of there. We also do like La Roca, which is like a Salvadorian herb.
Wow.
But you know, there's been a lot more like diversity in it. So like people have been putting like, you know, shrimp, like plantains, jalapenos and stuff like that.
Have you?
Sounds
What's the
delicious.
wildest pupusa you think you've made?
The wild banana foster pupusa.
Ooh, that
is
sounds
Banana
amazing.
pasta. I have not seen anybody do a banana, like a dessert pupusa, and we're just like, yo, let's do it. And me and my buddy were just like, Sebastian, he's my general manager.
Yeah.
He's just like, I know how to make a really good banana foster, and I was like, all right, let's do it.
And then you
my
just
God.
stuff it in.
Yeah,
and it's like a
you
dessert.
just stuff it in. But it's like more about like, you know, you got to find like one of the important things is like you have to have the right consistency for like both the filling and for the masa that you're using. Because if not, if it's too hard, it's gonna like spill out and break the masa. If it's like too wet, you're not gonna be able to enclose it properly. So, you know, it's about like, you know, having the right ratios for like your fillings and like your dough. But it was an amazing flavor. But we tried doing it at the farmer's market, but we're like, we're gonna have to wait until we get to our brick and mortar, because we want to serve it with like a neutral like milk ice cream.
Yeah.
So we're just like, until we can have like a freezer to store that kind of stuff, we're like, all right, we'll hold off on it.
Right.
So you said you were working at your parents' place. How old were you? You said like 12, 13? 10.
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. At what
Legally.
point?
Legally.
At what point did you start making these?
So like making pupusas, I'd say probably like around like 12 or 13.
Okay.
I say to begin with, they really were like, you know, peel some onions, help us wash dishes, or like, you know, work around the register area stuff. I'm like, cool. But then like, you know, bit by bit, like my twin, he started focusing more towards the front of house.
Right.
And then I started focusing more on the back of the house, you know, watching people cook. And I'm just like, hey, like.
And with El Pariso, you said that was the one in Reisterstown. You now have a place, Aru Aru, that we had talked about. When did you open that, and how did you go from El Pariso into this new venture that you have?
Yeah, I mean, you know, opening this one, I would say this one started in January.
This year?
Yeah, January of this
Congrats.
year. Yeah,
Yeah,
January
that's
of this
exciting.
year.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
very exciting. You know, being pushed to do this was there's, you know, the drive of, you know, working a family business and like doing great out there and having fun with that. And then, you know, meeting with Steve Chu of Ekibin, and he, you know, came out and he's like, hey man, I ate here when I was younger. Your food's great. It's still great. He's like, you know,
awesome.
we should do a collaboration. I'm just like, we're a hole-in-the-wall restaurant. I mean, are you sure? He's just like, yeah, man, of course. I'm just
That's
like,
legit, dude.
yeah, and I'm just like, dude, I'm not like a classically trained chef or anything. I just learned from
Making
like, watching
pupusas.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just learned from watching people and like kind of just like, you know, Food Network and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
like watching YouTube videos. I'm like, all right, man, like if you want to do a collab, let's do a collab. And like, you know, he really gave me like a better understanding of, you know, being like an entrepreneur for yourself and like
Yeah.
really just kind of pushing yourself to just kind of like, you know, go out there and experiment and like try new things. And like I've had like a great appreciation for food, and just like, you know, being like very like blessed to like travel a lot and like going to like different countries and trying different types of food. And just I'm just like, you know, I've had these like great flavors everywhere, and I'm just like, you know, what can I do to like incorporate this also into like my own dishes?
Yeah.
And like, what can I do to have fun with it, and like also keep it like somewhere in between, like with Salvadorian and like with that.
What was the collaboration with Ekubin like?
Oh, it's amazing. Honestly, it was a very fun time. The first one I was like super nervous about.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, oh, you know, they've done work with like Cafe de Leon and Alma Casina and all these other great places, and I'm just like,
I mean, it sounds like a blast, man.
Yeah, no, it's
so
absolutely a blast.
What does it mean to collab with them? Like, what is the...
So, like, you know, like I'd go out to like one of their kitchens, or he would come out to like our kitchen, and we're just like, all right, so let's do like pupusas, right?
Okay.
Like, what can we do with pupusas that can be like unique to us? And we're just like, well, you know, I could do like a vegan pupusa. Not really like a lot of like vegan options out there, like with like Salvadoran. I mean, there's like a lot of like vegan options, but like not for like pupusas and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because a lot of it uses just like regular like mozzarella deli, like cheese and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is like, what do we do like, you know, vegan cashew cheese with like red bean, and then like on top of it, we do like sweet like peanut sauce slaw on top of that one with like tofu or something like that.
Wow.
Sounds amazing.
Or let's do
for real.
Or let's do a cheese pupusa, and like I know you guys do like a really good like braised beef over there. Like he's like, what if I do like a faux braised beef on top of your cheese pupusa? Wow. And then we do like a, you know, I was like, well, let's do like a tamarind habanero like honey sauce on top of that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and it's
Man,
just like, and like he's just like, and like one time he's just like, how do you feel about the flavor of this? I was like, you know, it feels pretty good, but we could do like maybe just a little different in it. He's like, hey, like there's like all these toppings and like all these ingredients I have here. He's like, why don't you just play around with this stuff?
I feel like this is like
That's
the
really
equivalent, like the cooking equivalent to being in the studio with some rapper or band as the song and everything comes together.
I feel like a wizard, you know, like in the kitchen, like just doing alchemy.
You got the hat on, you got
and I'm just like just throwing things together, and like
so cool.
And like more than half of the times, terrible. It comes out terrible sometimes, and that's okay.
That's just part of the process.
And it really is a part of the process. And like, you know, it's just like, all right, cool. Like maybe I didn't use the right type of meat. Maybe I didn't use, you know, the right amount of like salts or like spices or something like that. It's like, all right, cool. Let me note that down and let's try it again, and let's, you know, keep working on it. Just keep working on it.
Yeah, there's a method to the madness, and like just trial and error, right? And I think it's the same thing when you go to the farmer's market for your first time, or have that first event where you're collabing with another restaurant or company, right? It's trial and error and figuring out really what works, and then just creating that product, and you get better at it over time. It's really anything.
And with him being like so well trained, like he's classically trained. He's worked at some like great kitchens up in New York, and he's been so established here with like Ekubin himself.
Yeah.
And it's just like he has such a wide like library of knowledge where it's like I can like ask him like, hey, like, you know, how this like, how would you like complement this in like terms of like a dish or something like that. He's just like quick on it. He's just like, you know, you can counteract this like spiciness with a little bit of sweetness.
Yeah.
You know, cut some of like the bitterness out with like a little bit of like vinegar or something like that. It's just like just a lot of like different like things that he's learned, and he's just passing down that knowledge
So cool.
to me.
It sounds like a great connection.
He's
and
the
friend
same,
to have.
right? Like his dad had Jumbo Seafood,
Yep.
and then he grew up doing authentic, you know, I'm just going to call it Oriental, like Chinese cuisine, and then he opened up Ikiban, and dude, what a better example of coming from culturally traditional food and then opening up something super unique. Do you guys have plans for a brick and mortar?
We do have plans for a brick and mortar.
Is there a timeline on it?
We're hoping around the fall time right now.
Okay.
So right now we're working for the funding. So right now, I think we're in pretty good position for that. So once we get that down, you know, we've got like the architect already working on doing the design and all that. So we already have the layout and stuff ready to go.
Wow.
So once we have that, we're ready to present, and we have a very, very good chance of getting approved. So from there down, we'll be moving forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. Especially because of the location that you guys have chosen is right down the street from Ikiban. I think you'll have a lot of partner support there.
Absolutely.
I was going to ask, where would the brick and mortar be?
Yeah, so it's at 1501 Eastern Avenue.
Okay. Oh, yeah,
So we're
right
just
there.
right by the H&S Bakery and just right down the road.
Oh,
from where
perfect
Ekubin's
location.
at.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
man.
I love the location. It's a great location. The neighbors seem really, really nice out there. And like, right by the Fells Point Farmers Market. So like,
Right.
we're already introducing ourselves to the community. We're just like,
Right.
we're going to be right down the road from you guys.
I think your food, it so lends itself exactly like Ikeban. It's like, festivals, food markets, but then also the quick like drop in for a pupusa, quick move on, whether it's Grubhub, Order Up, Uber Eats, like all of that is so popular nowadays. I feel like that your food just lends itself in that way.
Absolutely. One of the like important things for me is like, not everybody's going to have time to like, sit down and like eat at a restaurant. People have like really busy lives and stuff like that. But our food lends itself well to, being carry out options, or, we'll have like bar seats there so somebody can just eat like, real quick on a fly for like a lunchtime.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of offices down there. You have Harbor East out there. So there's like a lot of offices down that way in Fells Point. So we just want to like provide, quick service, something for people that, great quality, a lot of focus on the food itself, and, just giving people that type of experience.
Yeah. You have one person that you're like, man, if I could cook for that person, like one, fan favorite, one just iconic.
Oh, so I got very lucky with that. I did that already.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so his name is Andrew McMahon.
Okay.
He's the lead singer of Something Corporate, Jack's Mannequin, and in his own band, Andrew
No
McMahon Into the
way.
Wilderness. He's been playing music since like the 2000s.
Yeah.
Um,
To bring up Jack's Mannequin, I was actually listening to one of their songs last week. And I remember when I was like growing up as a kid on MTV, I'd wake up in the morning and they had like music videos and shit playing across the screen. And there was a song called The Resolution that they sing. And like I hadn't heard it in years. And I put it on the other day. I was like, it takes me back to just sitting in front of the TV getting ready for school, and MTV was on. And that's really
good
awesome.
life, right?
Yeah.
no, absolutely.
So when
Good
was
luck,
that?
Right? So that was actually, I'd say about like last year. I'd say
Oh,
like
wow.
around like fall time. So he was playing a show over at Soundstage, and my friend, they work ticket management over there.
Yeah.
And they're just like, hey, you want to come through to the show? I know you love this band. And I was just like, oh, absolutely. And I was like, I'm going to bring food for you guys, because how can I not?
You
Like,
have to.
thank you
You
guys.
have to, yeah.
Yeah, like, so I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to bring some pupusas, and I'm also bring a tres leches cake for like the whole staff. And so like I'm like walking up into the line, and like everyone else is just there chilling, and my hands are just full of like bags of food and like a box with a cake, and everyone's just
Oh
like,
my
is this
God.
guy like delivering to the artists? I'm just like, oh no, I'm just here to give to the workers.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, like it's such a great experience though, because like it was such a beautiful show.
Yeah.
And my friend knew how much like that music like means to me, because it's just a great artist to
Yeah.
me. And it was like after the show, she was like, hey, let me just let me see if I can do something real quick.
Yeah.
And she goes to the green room and she asks them, and he's like, hey, are you guys hungry? And they're like, yeah.
my
He's like,
God.
well, actually, one of our good friends here brought us food and brought pupusas and tres leches cake. You guys
Damn.
want some? And they're just like, absolutely. And then she said like 20 minutes later, he's like, oh yeah, Andrew wants to come out. He wants to thank you because he said the food was amazing.
Oh my God.
And I was like, no fucking way.
That's
And-
awesome, man.
Yeah, and I had like a nice conversation with him and just talking to him about like, his experiences. And he was just asking me about me and like the restaurant experience and all that good stuff. And like, it was just a great one-on-one conversation with him. And I was just like, dude, this is amazing. I was like, this is like one of the coolest things like that's
Yeah,
happened.
I
And it just
bet,
happened so
man.
casually. And I'm just like so thankful that my friend gave me that opportunity.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I've never even heard of this dude. I'm on his website. He has like a little video game on his website.
Mike's also not a music person.
Yeah.
No.
Not a music
I
person.
know.
He's not.
What do you do in your free time?
Right.
Dude,
You
we're
just sit in silence.
Exactly.
Worst
Exactly.
dancer.
It's just work.
And I wanted to like segue into the music stuff because you're from the Baltimore area. That's your favorite activity, seeing live music. Is there, other than that moment, is there like a memorable show that stands out from some of the others that you've seen, or you have a favorite like live music memory?
I'm all around here with like the music scene, whether it be hardcore scene, the EDM scene in terms of like house music and
Okay.
techno. The dark rooms brought some great people like Adam Max. He's like a resident over in Berlin.
Okay.
At Tresor, and he plays some amazing like hardcore techno.
Yeah.
Or like listening
Hardcore
to
techno. I can't pin you for that, but that's pretty cool.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's just a great time just out there dancing with friends and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But like also like Zika Farms.
Oh, dude,
That's
I've heard
Zika-
some awesome things
Zika
about
Farms
Zika
is
Farms.
just like a DIY skate park, like out there by where Horseshoe Casino's at.
Yeah,
Yep.
And we got to go see Gel perform out there, and
That's
like there's
dope.
and there's just like a crazy show going on in the back, like there, and in the background there's just people skating and rollerblading.
It's like
in the
real,
back.
like forgive me using the term. I don't know if it's good or bad, but like underground, like real, like I don't know. It's not corporate, like not mainstream,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And it's
absolutely.
really again DIY. It's just a skate park. Like they have an Instagram page, and I've seen some of the stuff. It looks so fucking cool.
It is quite a fun experience, and there's like there's like warehouse parties that go on like in the nighttime, like things going from like 2 to like 7 a.m. and
Yeah.
stuff like that out
Insane.
here in the
Wow.
city.
One of my clients, Stephen Baker, we would talk about this while touring some homes, and like when I was getting to know him, he's gone to Zika Farms a couple of times, and some of these like warehouse shows and things like that. I wonder if you probably, I don't know if you know him, but you probably have passed each other every once in a while, just not knowing it. Really, really cool dude from the area as well, and he goes to these types of shows all the time.
He also is what I would call committed.
Who?
Steven.
Oh,
He
Steven's
showed
the
up
man.
to a settlement last week riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Why? And he's like, oh, something happened to my car. And so I had to get here, rode a bike.
Rode a bike.
He
Yeah.
goes, I like the bike. I'm good.
He's awesome.
Instead of looking at it like, woe is me, it was just a vibe.
I love
it.
Steven. He's a great dude, and honestly, like I think we've built such a great relationship, even helping him buy a home, that he's basically friend and family now. Like, love
That's
that
great.
dude.
I would like to see Christian doing this stuff.
Bro,
I've seen
Can
Christian.
you imagine?
I used to skate back in
I've
the day.
seen Christian ride a mountain bike one time.
Okay, by video,
He
not
went
live in
over
person.
the bars.
But the one thing that I was really excited to chat with you about, and it's so fucking random, is having a pillow that's always cool.
How can you not go wrong with cold?
Dude,
pillow?
oh my god. So I
It
was
just might not be one of my like top 3 things in my life.
You sleep for like at least like more than
it's
a quarter
so
of your life.
important. Yeah.
Like, why not be as comfortable as you can be? Like, a cool pillow is just the perfect way to wrap up your night.
Are you saying like a cold pillow?
Yeah, like-
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I was in the market for so long for a new pillow. Like mine was like this old feathery one that I've had for fucking 10 years.
geeking
It was
on this
terrible.
video.
And so on Black Friday, I made it a mission to find the pillow. And I went to like a like Mattress Warehouse, Sleep Number, like all those things to try on their pillows. They all kind of sucked, not gonna lie. I kind of knew what I wanted, but didn't know where to get it or whatever. And I went to there's a place in like that downtown Annapolis area.
Sleep Number?
No, it's Tempur-Pedic.
Tempur-Pedic.
Oh my god.
Yes, and the pillow originally retails for like $275, and it's an always cool pillow. It is memory foam. It is a pillow from the
Looking it
heavens.
up.
And did you get it?
Oh, I bought it, but the Black Friday deal was you pay the price of one pillow, but you get two. $275 for two. I was like, sign me up, cash me out. Let's do this thing.
These things?
I forget the exact model. I'd have to go on their website and
I just think it's
dig
funny
a
that
little
this was
deeper.
the topic you were like really pumped
No,
to
because
talk
he-
about.
trust me.
super
He's been
enthused.
talking about it all
I-
day.
I like how Marvin's like, just this is really
And-
important in my life.
And like
really
my
important.
my living situation right now, like I'm back and forth between my parents' house. I'll crash at Mike's place sometime, and so I had two pillows, and there's one sitting on one of the rooms at Mike's house.
See, I went to
Mike May.
I haven't even known.
I went to Costco and I was just looking around their pillow section. There's like some Nectar pillow there.
Yeah.
By far the best pillow I got, and it was like $60. And I'm
Really?
just like,
Okay.
And it always like stays cold, and I'm just like, it's so comfortable. It's so soft,
That's-
and it's so cold. And I'm just like, this is perfect.
That's awesome. And the
Not go
bedding
wrong.
stuff, like it is one thing. Like you sleep, like you said, a majority of your life, and I think it is very important. So like, why not spend the money to get a good night's sleep? You're gonna get the use out of it.
I spent 3 years not sleeping comfortably in
Yeah.
the Army, and I'm just like, I'm gonna sleep comfortably now.
I
was
respect
like-
it.
I was like, I might as well now.
I respect it. I'm so like, I don't know, just seeing the always having a cool pillow. It's like I can relate to that.
Fair enough.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah, of course.
This is the greatest pillow known to man. I'm convinced.
I don't even know what you're showing
Let me
me.
see.
It's It's shaped like a J.
No.
Oh, bro, you have no idea.
Nope. I don't
You
get
have
into
no
those
idea.
weirdly shaped pillows and like
dude,
this is the
pillow
new.
like hugs my shoulder and I'm like, oh hi buddy.
It sounds like a
Every day.
TikTok pillow, and I can't get behind that.
I'm about it.
I
Can't
agree
get
with you on that.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Now I need to look this up when I leave here about the best.
It's actually because I had a lot of shoulder problems and I was having a really hard time finding a good pillow. It turns out you just have to like snug the pillow up against you, but when it's like a regular pillow, it's hard. So the J-shaped pillow, you pull it down.
There was one on TikTok that like took off, and like it was popping up on my feed all the time. Maybe even on Instagram.
You didn't even
but
try
it. Was like, no, because I know it's BS. I know it's BS.
One day.
Allegedly.
Anyways.
Well, yeah, lots of good things. Marvin, one place that you would go that you haven't been if you were looking for good food. I'm curious.
One place that I haven't been,
That you haven't been?
I would say Alma Casino.
You haven't been to Alma?
I haven't been to Alma Casino.
I
yet.
haven't either.
Sam, can you unlock the door real quick?
Yeah.
Ding dong.
It's got. Hold on. Please hold.
Hi, come on in.
You're good. We don't care.
Thank you.
We're back.
We're back. Anyway.
Alma Casino.
Alma Casino. Why would you choose?
Because I hear they are one of the best Venezuelan restaurants out here in the Northeast.
Ooh.
I've heard they've had great accolades
This
from
is my
being nominated
ignorance.
from James Beard Award.
This is my ignorance. I don't know the difference between Venezuelan, Guatemalan, El Salvadorian. Like,
You know,
I'm not saying they're the same. That's not
The
what I'm
best
saying.
way the best way I describe it is like, the Northeast has its own style, Midwest has its own style of food. There's like the California West Coast style of food.
I guess.
It's like, we have our own variations as well in terms of like Central America and like Mexico and stuff
Okay.
like that. Everyone's,
I can get down
everybody
with
makes
it.
things a little bit different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I can get down with it. I understand. Well, super excited for you. We're going to be on the lookout for Aru Aru brick and mortar coming soon to a neighborhood near you in Fells Point. But we also have home buyer event coming up this Saturday. If you guys need more information, you can always reach out to myself, Christian Olson, or the Baltimorons page. You can always hit me on Instagram at michael.frank___. Four of them.
underscores.
Yeah, right? I got lost. But then also you can find us on our website at frankoliverco.com. And you can, of course, follow our page if you're not already at the Baltimorons.
Yeah.
Right on. And you can find me on Instagram at Christian the Deadhead. And Marvin, how can they find you and your restaurant and everything like that?
So you can find me on I'm_probably_lost. And then you can find us also at Aru Aru Fells Point.
Aru Aru.
And at the Fells Point Farmers Market every Saturday.
Every
Saturday.
Damn. So the summer hours just started. So it's from 8 a.m. to 12:30.
Oh yay.
It's exciting.
So you got plenty of time to eat some good food, grab
We'll
some
see it this
flowers, and
weekend.
some fresh produce.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
All right, Sam, you
Perfect.
want to give a shout out?
For me?
Yeah.
You can find me at Sammy Berg
There
giving
you
you
go.
marketing advice. Duh.
Love it. We'll
That's
catch
it.
you guys real soon.
See you guys.
See ya.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.